Hello, I'm Antonio Mora. This is the newsandnews.com Day in Brief. Today's top stories in 4 minutes. It's Friday, September 14th at about 7 p.m. People like to complain about how weather forecasts are often wrong. Unfortunately, they weren't wrong today. Hurricane Florence quickly turned deadly, and it was just as slow-moving as the meteorologist said, dumping record-breaking rain and battering the Tar Heel state with powerful winds. Residents were warned to evacuate coastal areas because of the danger from storm surge, but many of them thought they knew better and ignored the advice. Hundreds of them had to be rescued in just one place, New Bern, North Carolina. At this hour, more than 100 are reportedly still in need of rescue. They and others put first responders at risk because of selfish, irresponsible behavior. The media didn't help because we warned people to evacuate places threatened by storm surge, then put reporters in those places. It's a case of do as I say, not as I do. Not helpful. There are plenty of ways of showing the power and danger of a hurricane without setting a terrible example. One can only hope today's frightening stories will make people be careful in the days to come when flash floods and river flooding will become serious threats. The other big story today is that Paul Manafort pleaded guilty to federal crimes and agreed to cooperate with the special counsel's Trump-Russia investigation. The former Trump campaign chair had long resisted cooperating, even after being found guilty of financial crimes in a first trial. It's not clear what insight he will provide on the Trump campaign, and the White House insisted it was all unrelated to Trump. But the Trump camp's response was muddled, adding at first that, quote, the president did nothing wrong and Paul Manafort will tell the truth. That was later amended to drop the part about Manafort telling the truth. The reality is that Manafort is the first person who attended the infamous Trump Tower meeting with Russians who has agreed to cooperate with prosecutors. That may mean nothing, or it could be a serious problem. At this point, it's all speculation. Also, the Senate fight to confirm Brett Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court got increasingly bitter after Senator Dianne Feinstein announced she had referred information about Kavanaugh to the FBI. It reportedly involves a letter describing an alleged incident of sexual misconduct when he was in high school. The accuser is anonymous. The 11th hour move has infuriated Kavanaugh supporters, and the FBI has reportedly declined to investigate. The Judiciary Committee vote on the nomination is scheduled for next Thursday. In our daily alternate universes segment, the great divide between conservative and liberal media, we've got a twofer today. Between 4 p.m. and 6:08 p.m., Fox News did not have one mention about Manafort's guilty plea. The hurricane is a huge story, but does it merit ignoring a big political story? What happened to We Report, You Decide? Tough to decide if nothing is reported. Also this morning, the New York Times had a terrible example of media bias. A headline said, quote, Nikki Haley's view of New York is priceless. Her curtains, $52,701. A Times tweet went further, saying the curtains were purchased at a time when the State Department was, quote, undergoing deep budget cuts and had frozen hiring. In a world where tweets and headlines are about as far as most news readers go, most people would have thought the Haley and Trump administration were shameless spendthrifts who outrageously wasted taxpayer money. That is, unless you read well into the story and learned that it was the Obama State Department that had ordered the motorized curtains and that Haley had nothing to do with it. Even so, the article used an Obama official trashing the current administration. The Times later corrected itself, admitting the article and the headline created an unfair impression about who was responsible and that a picture of Haley shouldn't have been used. The new article did not include the Obama official's quote. How did this article get through the New York Times editorial process? It took me not much more than a minute of reading to realize the piece was unfair. Ironically, some conservative sites just took the original Times headline without fixing the editorial issue, indicating they have editorial issues of their own. Others, like us, clarified in their headlines that the curtains had been approved by the Obama administration. It's not that hard to be fair. Mistakes like this open the door for the odious fake news accusations. We have all those stories and much more updated around the clock 7 days a week on newsandnews.com, where you will find all you need to know in one place. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the right of your screen just below this video. And please follow us on Facebook at Real News and News, me on Twitter at AMoraTV. Have a great weekend. I will see you again on Monday.